Welcome back to our special segment with I, Michelle Wamboi, and today we've had the pleasure to talk to an incredibly talented artist who is going to tell us more about herself and her journey being a fine art artist. Hi.
Hi.
Can you please tell us more about yourself and how your journey as an artist began?
So my name is Kuria Juliet Wanjiku. Come from Kitengela. I'm a student right now at the moment studying fine art. So in this industry of fine art, it was a talent, started as a talent way back in 2020 during COVID is when I discovered that I can draw. And it's also inherited from my dad because he was a fine artist.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so he started fine art and it was also a talent that he had. So it's something in the family. And because I look like my dad, I was a daddy's girl, so I took it from him. It is something that is very amazing that I took it from him, and it is so good. So right now I'm a first year student in Buruburu Institute of Fine Art. I do fine art, as you can see. Fine art which entails drawing, painting, and any kind of DIY.
Was there a specific experience or moment that made you realize you would become an artist later in the future?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Could you tell us more about it?
Sure. So in high school, I used to do diagrams. When we used to do these subjects of biology, chemistry, and then you're being told to do these diagrams. So I used to draw them very well. But I used to find it as a talent, yes. But initially, I never wanted to do painting or fine art. I wanted to do law. So my classmates will come and tell me, "Oh, you're good in drawing," because I used to even to make these cards of the handwriting pia in school. So somebody will come and tell me, "Write for me this, do for me this cards." So I took it as a talent, yes, but I never took it. I never wanted to take it as a career. It was never meant to be my career.
But you enjoyed doing it?
Yeah, but I really enjoyed doing it. So my classmates will come and tell me, you can do it. But deep down I wanted to do law. But so now after high school is when I came and sat down and I started thinking about it. And I told myself, yeah, I can do this. So here I am now.
And did your parents support that? You know, most parents, like when you tell them you want to do art, and then you tell them, but I had a vision of doing law, they will obviously pick law over art. So how did your parents react to you saying you want to do fine art instead of law?
One thing about my parents, they're very supportive. I'm with my mom right now, and she's very supportive. She has been very supportive from the very first day. And when I told her I wanted to do art, she was my number one fan, because I vandalized her house, her home, her wall, because being a fine artist, I'm more specialized in murals. Those paintings we do in walls, the big paintings. So I went and vandalized her wall, her corridor wall, and I did an art there, and she was impressed. She was actually not mad, and she actually renovated the house, and I did it again, and I did it without her permission. So considering that she did not overreact that niliharibu wall, because most parents would say umeniharibia wall, for her she took it as a positive thing. So from the very first day she has been positive about my work, and she, considering that she took me to school, she agreed to take me to school. So yeah, she took it positively, and she has been very supportive of me.
Okay.
Considering that even art materials are very, very expensive.
Yeah.
She's been there. Yeah.
And your dad?
My dad passed away in 2021.
Oh.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. He was an artist, so I'm continuing with the legacy that he left.
You?
Yeah, because even my brand name is Luria Sheikh, and Luria Sheikh is a mixture of my name and my dad's name. So he was my role model. He used to be my number one role model. Considering that I've never even sat with him for him to teach me to do art. I just took it from him. And I never, because when I was born, he had already stopped doing art. So I never saw him do any artworks. We just used to see the portraits that he had done before. So yeah, I usually say it's God's doing that I managed to continue with his legacy. And my brand name is a continuation of what he started. Where he did not get to reach is where I'm aspiring to reach.
You can rhyme.
Yes.
Okay, so how would you describe your style in your own words?
So basically, when you tell someone you're doing fine art, they will clearly know that you're painting.
Yeah.
And when you tell, actually, most people don't know what fine art is. If I tell somebody I'm doing a career in fine arts, they will think I'm saying finance, but it's not finance, it's fine art. So most people, it's really, no, we as artists right now, we are, as Gen Z artists, we are trying to create the awareness to tell people what fine arts is. So,
could you explain what fine art is?
Sure. So fine arts is basically involved in drawing and painting. So, but I do not draw or paint that much. I focus more on murals, because that's where you see, when even you get to go to school, you see, if you know that it's your talent, then you get to go to school. It widens your mind and your talent. So you get to know, because in school you're not only learning fine art like drawing and painting, you're doing a lot of categories. So you get to know which part you can specialize in. So for me, when I vandalized my mom's wall, I knew that I can do it, because I just looked at a wall from up to down and I was like, can I really do it? I was 16 years of age. And I was like, if I've done it, then yeah. So I've done murals, and it has really taken my passion. Because you see, the way artists do paintings on canvases, I'm very poor when it comes to painting in canvas, and it's really not my thing. So I'd rather do paintings on walls than doing on canvases. And in fine art, it really involves a lot of things, because there's drawing, sketches, composition. We usually say when it comes to drawing, you draw by imagination, observation, and also doing compositions. Like you can, the way some people are standing there, and then you just observe and you watch them, and you draw them. There's also caricature. There's also pottery. We do pottery also, and I'm a really big fan of doing pottery.
What about caricature?
Caricature is something that we do. Like, for example, you're seated here, and then I have a pen and a book. Yeah, I'm doing a feature, but in a very weird-looking manner and in a cartoonist manner.
Yeah.
So, like, maybe I can expand your head, it becomes big, your eyes become small, your nose becomes big. So that is like caricature, yeah.
Yeah, I've been seeing videos of caricature in outside world countries, but not in Africa. So would you like to specialize in something like that?
Yeah, cause I'm more of a cartoonist. A cartoonist is somebody who draws a lot of cartoons, and I'm really good in drawing and painting cartoons. So there's even a time I visited Kenya National Theatres, and I came across a caricature artist, and he did a really nice work. Though he did not do my face, he did somebody else's work, and I was like, okay, so it can be nice, because you see, it's funny.
Yeah, it's really fun.
It's funny. It's funny, but
accurate.
So, yeah, and accurate also, because it brings out your face or your picture, a vivid image of you. Yeah.
So how would you describe a typical day for you as an artist? Like, you have a specific art you're going to work on. How would you describe that day?
As an artist, okay, when it comes to artists, we are all different.
Yeah.
What another artist see, I cannot see. What another artist does, I cannot do. So I, as an artist, my typical day, my day can, I actually like working at night. And all artists are crazy. That's a saying we all know, all artists are crazy. Yeah. They are never normal. We're actually very abnormal. So I choose and I prefer to work at night more than in the day. The day can become a very relaxing day for me, but at night is when I can sit down and think of the work that I want to do or I can do. And also, it does not depend that you have to plan what you want to do. You can just sit, like there's a day like this drawing here, I did it on a bus while I was going back home. Just took my book and I started doing it. So it's usually just comes in your mind. So you feel like it's just like a spirit that attacks you.
So it's unpredictable.
Yeah, it's unpredictable. For
Art
my
can
case,
come to you anytime.
anytime, any day. Hata ukilala usiku unaweza amka.
Uliota kitu jana. You create art from uliota.
Yeah, because even where I stay, there's an image, because I also like taking pictures that tend to look so like inaweza kaa ni kama umeichora but ni picha umepiga. So there's a door that has a mirror. I tend to call them beautiful mistakes. So it has a mirror, which I don't know what happened to that mirror. So ndani inakaa kama iko na some bubbles. So those bubbles were a mistake, because the mirror is supposed to be clear. The glass, not the mirror. The glass is supposed to be clear. But now it has bubbles inside, and the bubbles tend to look like a flower. So I took a picture of it and was like, yeah, this is so artistic. People can see it as a mistake, but I do not see it as a mistake. Mm-hmm. So everything to us is art.
So what materials and techniques do you work with as a fine art artist?
Number one, I work with walls. Walls are my favorite drawing boards. And I work with acrylic paints. Acrylic paints and water paints. Oil paints, si sana, because oil paints can be hectic for you, most especially if you have breathing problems. It can be, what do we call it? Like inaweza affect health-wise. Even as artists, we are also at risk. So there's also, I deal with also pencils and graphite.
What about spray paints?
Yeah, also spray paint. But spray paint now I do them on canvases, not on walls. I've not yet started doing spray paints on walls. Yeah, so spray paints are also very fun to work with. You can just take a spray paint. Spray paints are addictive, to be honest, because unaweza chukua to spray paint and you start vandalizing walls, and some of them are illegal.
Yeah.
So unajipata kwa shida, but you are doing art. But so spray paints are really addictive, so I tend not to engage myself with them a lot, because mimi nayo, even if I'm a lady, I tend to have masculine behavior sometimes.
You've brought some of your work with you today. Could you tell us about these pieces? What inspired it, and what does it mean to you personally?
So, these two portraits are all about love, to begin with. Nani hapendi kupendwa? Sisi wote tunapenda kupendwa. So,
love is a beautiful thing.
Indeed it is. So this first portrait is a man's hands. Actually, this is a technique called foreshortening. Unafanya diagram, diagram. Shule. Hiyo artwork inakuja ni kama like iko hapo mbele. So ni mikono za mwanaume hapo with a very diamond ring, a very expensive diamond ring. Alafu this is the twin to the other portrait, right? So this guy was proposing to a lady, okay, mimi in my imagination. So alikuwa ananiproposia. So nikasema yes. After kusema yes, nikavaa dress ya red. Niko na dress ya red, that's why niliweka hii nini. Hiyo red. Sina backless. So nikajiweka ndio huyo mimi with my guy hapo, with my imagination guy. So I said yes to the proposal. So we went and danced because to celebrate, because I said yes, soon off the market. So EPI framing, it's also a DIY. Sana as artists we go for very professional easy framings, ndio. So unapata meka mbao, but sasa mimi most of the common sketches that I do, I use paper, manila paper or embossed paper to frame my work. So unapata tu una frame inakaa vizuri. Sometimes I add hizo transparent papers inakaa sasa like a real portrait. But now also hata ukiangalia hizi portraits, the colors that I've used, blue and pink, it symbolizes, it's also a continuation of the story, because sasa niliproposiwa, nikasema yes, we did a wedding, we got a baby boy and a baby girl, the blue and the pink, which symbolizes a boy and a girl. So yeah, that is basically, these two portraits symbolize, it carries a lot of meanings in two portraits. So yeah, so that is all about these two portraits. Main meaning is love.
Thank you, Juliet, for sharing with us your inspiring journey, your insight. It has been a really inspirational conversation. And for you watching, thank you for always being part of our Rise Today community. And I urge you to be more creative and support art in whatever form it comes. Hello, welcome back to our special segment with I, Michelle Wamboi. And